our followers here, Captain Papa Frita was asking for this build order for the Goths, and I found his request quite interesting because the Goths guys, they are not so popular civilization. They are not a civilization that people use it to play so much. And if you watch tournaments like the COTD, like the Battle of Africa, you are going to realize that they are often one of the last picks on the game. People things Latin the civilization to be picked for last. And let me explain why when we analyze those bonus from the Goths. First thing that you need to know is that the Goths are an infantry civilization or a bad civilization because they have no economical upgrades. But let's take a look on their bonus. The most interesting one is the infantry cost. They have no economical bonus, but if you manage to play using infantry, you can kind of use infantry with a big discount of 35%. You won't find anything similar like this in any other civilization regarding the units. And this means that the infantry is going to be really, really cheaper after you go to the feudal age. So let's take as an example this man at arm here. He costs regular 60 and 60 food and 20 gold. If you have the Goths, this guy here is going to cost you only 39 food, and I don't remember how much, but less gold, something like 13 gold. I believe that it's something like this, only 52 resources instead of 80 resources. So each one of those guys, if you make him, are going to give you a 28 resources saving. That's how it works. There comes another one that helps you to use them. Their infantry have +1 attack against buildings. This in practice means that it's really good for you to take down palisades, lumber camps, mill, barracks, enemy buildings using your men at arms. And if you manage to do a good push with the men at arms, you can kill your enemy buildings and slow him down a lot. And of course, if you can spend horse cows on the castle age, this means that you can pretty much go there and kill any town center that you want. So this bonus is really interesting and underestimated. Don't forget that now in Walloon Kingdom you can also use the arson bonus, which will help you a lot when killing buildings. So another attack, another word unusual bonus is that their villagers have +5 attack against wild boar. This means that it's really easy for you to kill the boar, and I see players often forgetting about that, and they start shooting the boar much before they need it, and this leads to killing boar out of the town center or in bad spots, so that's not so cool. And there's another good bonus that it's that the hunters can carry +15 meat. So regular hunters can carry a maximum of 35. With this, each of your hunters can carry at least 50 meat. That's nice. You can just send 3 villagers to get a deer, and each one of them will carry much more than the 35 that you were used to. And there's other small bonus that the Goths have +10 population in the Imperial Age. This works like this. If every civilization can go until population 200, the Goths can go until 210. That's really nice. Their unique unit is really useful. It's the Ruskal, this dude here with this big shield. He costs a lot of food, 80 food. I believe it gets a bit cheaper since you are the Goth. But the point is, this guy here is really good against archer. He has a 10 attack. That's a great attack for infantry. It's the same attack that a knight would have in the castle age. And he has +6 against archers, +2 against eagles, +5 women, +5 against buildings. So this guy can pretty much unleash hell over archer units, over town centers. If your enemy has a big pack of crossbows, with like 6 or 7 of these guys, you can clean it with no problem, especially if you upgrade the speed and the armor for this dude, okay? And their unique upgrade for the Castle Age is really important. They were the first civilization to have a unique technology on the Castle Age before Walloon Kingdoms. It's the Anarchy. It's a bit costly. It's 450 food and 250 gold, but this allows you to create Ruskals and barracks, which is really, really awesome. This is one of the civilizations that will allow you to make spans of units during the Castle Age, and this can be really, really powerful in the correct situation. The technology for the Imperial Age is the perfusion, which allows your barracks units to be created twice as faster. And man, this is a really, really great bonus for spamming purpose. You can spend and win by numbers and cost. Often enemies will have a stronger champions like the Japanese, like the Slavs, but you can just outmass them with this bonus and with your cost, and you can win by numbers. You can just have a really bad KD, but win battles non-stop. So basically that's then a small overview of the infantry and the civilizations of the Goths. And here you can see that they have the full infantry line for the champion and halberdier. Their archers are not so good. For the Castle Age they are fine. On the Imperial they can still use the heroic archer and the hand cannoneer, but no arbalest or Imperial skirmisher, exclusively to Vietnamese. And on water they do fine, but what was really difficult when playing with the Goths guys is the lack of a direct economical bonus. This meat one, this deer one, it's not special. Try to compare this with the Malians, with the Aztecs, with anything like this. It's not even close to be a good bonus, so that's the biggest issue when you have the Goths. So guys, what I did here today, since it's Sunday morning, is that I recorded the build order instead of trying to do it live, because the last time I tried to do it live, it worked really bad for me. Really, really bad. Kind of similar to Vietnamese? No. I did say that, Mr. GPN, that was a big mistake. What I mean is that different from other civilizations, they don't go for the arbalest, and the Imperial Skirmisher is only available for the Vietnamese, so that's not something that they can use, and they don't even need it, okay, because they have the Hurskal. So guys, let's see how we can do a good start here. There's a build order that I find its execution to be a bit hard, because you need to be really, really mechanical on the Dark Age. So this build order will only work the most you practice, and if you have deers, it will be really better one. If you don't, you can still do it, and I did a version without deer, because that's often how this happens. So let me now show how I do it. The build order that I'm recording here is the best starting for the Goths, in my opinion, that it's going for pop 21 men at arms. You go really fast and make men at arms to your enemy. And this can be done by most civilizations, because you won't need any bonus to do this, but the Goths have two small details that are going to be helpful in this kind of build order. So you just start here with the 5 regular villagers on the ship, and you need to be really mechanical. So one thing that I like to do here, and I will focus on this detail, is to put the ship right next to the one that I'm eating, like this, and I will always kill this ship before my current ship dies. So what I can do here is a smooth transition, so the villagers won't have idle time. They just don't go there and keep wondering where are the other ship, and they do not have idle time. So what I want to do here is to minimize idle time. You see? They just finished one, and I task them to go for the next one. Now I'm going to bring another ship to put here, really close to the other. When you see this ship is going to be really low on food, like 20, 15 or 10, I'm going to kill the second ship. Take a look. I just did it. Now I'm going to select those villagers. That's what I do, and I retask them when the ship is about to end. This on single player seems like easy to do, but on multiplayer it really makes a difference, because you have a small lag on multiplayer that you don't find in single player, that will always make you lose like 2 or 3 seconds of villager inefficiency. So that's something that you can use in any build order that will be great. So different from the pop 21 scouts that you can do, in this one we are going to put 4 villagers on the wood, guys. That's the big difficult. We are going to try to advance fast, but we are going to have 4 villagers on the wood. So let's go. 4 villagers on the wood, and now guys, here comes the important part. By the moment that I start eating the 4th ship, I will already send a villager there to go and get myself the boar. Here's the boar, and I'm going to get it, and there comes the detail. This boar will suffer a lot because this villager has an extra attack since he's got. So take a look on how much HP I can get here. I just did 2 shots on the boar and he has already 59 HP. So there's a big risk that if I shoot this boar with all the villagers, the boar is going to die easily. So another thing that you can do to try to be really efficient here is to place your boar right in the middle of your town center when you kill it, like this. Exactly like that. You try to kill it in a position where it's optimal, and if you need to get your villagers back to the TC, they don't have to walk big distance or anything like that. In order to do this, guys, what I made was to make a clear path. There were no ships here between the boar and the villagers, and that's why I was able to do so. Okay? After this, I'm going to put a villager to make a house, then make the mill, and I will complete my hunters until I have 8 hunters, like that. Now I have 8 hunters, I will be only sending villagers to the berries, at least 5 villagers, because I want to have a good food production. So there it goes, 1 villager, 2 villagers. Now that my boar is with about between 100 and 150 food, depending on the distance of the boar, you are going to get the feeling when you are playing. You are going to send another villager to get the boar. This time, guys, I was not so good at the feeling, so I will have a bit of inefficiency that I'm going to show you. Here goes the second villager attacking the boar, bringing it to the TC. It's coming back. And now I just ate the boar and I'm going to shoot the boar with all the villagers. There's a small detail here that I guess you guys should pay attention, that all the other ships were on the left side of the town center since the boar was coming from the right side, because I didn't want this boar to get stuck. I just wanted to kill him exactly here on the town center. It would be even better if I could kill him a bit to the left, but here I can pretty much attend to what I wanted to do. So 8 hunters eating the second boar, the 4 villagers still in the wood. Now I have 5 villagers on the berries and my population is 18. So we are only 3 villagers from going for population 21, and those next 3 villagers are going to be really important. This one is going to make the barracks and the other 2 are going for the gold. And why do I want to do a barracks that soon? It's like if I wanted to go for the drush, right guys? But I'm not going for the drush. I'm going to click feudal before, and I will start making the militia as soon as I hit the feudal age. So let's take a look. I'm going for the gold here with the 2 villagers. I already placed one of the sheep close to the boar, so when I finish eating this boar, I can just move those villagers straight to the sheep with trying to minimize the inefficiency. And here goes the second villager, and now I'm making the loom. An important detail for this build order is that you are kind of obligated to get the boars without the loom, because you want to maximize every time that you can in order to go up and do a good game. In this case, I didn't lure any deer. There were some here that I could boost my economy with, but I'm doing it without the deer. And now, guys, that I'm pop 21, I will just get my villagers back to the TC and I will be able to go up. Boom. That's it. Pop 21, I'm going to feudal age. I have 4 villagers on the wood. I have 2 villagers here on the gold, 4 villagers on the TC that were the previous hunters and now are eating the sheep. The villager that made the barracks helped me back with a few sheep gathering and now is making a house. And as soon as I have the food, I will start to make the militia. And what I want to do here is to make at least 3 militia, guys. 3 militia. So let's go for the militia. I'm going to make the 3 militia. You can see that I'm eating the sheep here, and I'm using the same trick with the villagers. This video will be available, and you guys will be able to see the details of that if you just slow down. And now, guys, that I'm building the houses and I have almost the third militia, I'm going to make 2 farms and I'm going to place at least 2 more villagers to the wood to have the minimum of 6 villagers on the wood. There it goes. I have 3 militia before 9 minutes and I'm going to send those guys front, because when it hits 9 minutes and 49 seconds I will be on feudal age ready to kill this guy. That will be my task. So let me advance a bit, and I'm going to pause on the feudal age. I just did another farm, sent two villagers to the wood. I'm close to reach the feudal age, and boom! Guys, now that I hit the feudal age, oh, I just let it pass a bit, but I had exactly 270 food. What you need to do is to have enough food to make at least two upgrades that I'm doing right now. The man at arm upgrade on the barracks, the double bit axe upgrade on the wood, and of course I don't want to stop getting villagers. So now what I'm going to do is to attack with the man at arms really quick, and the most I can do damage and I can avoid my enemy from attacking me, the most effective I'm going to be. The biggest issue for men at arms is when enemy try to go for the archers, but man, your enemy is not going to have at least 4 or 3 archers before 12 minutes, so you have pretty much time to do damage, to attack his villager, to try to disrupt his economy, to force him to wall. And now on my base, what I did here was to make the wheelbarrow, task my villagers from the economy all to the woods, close to the TC, and I'm going to complete my TC here with some farms. I want to have a minimum number of farms. 8 farms is a good number because I can just surround the town center and I will be pretty sure that I will never stop making villagers. So that's what I'm going to do now in the next minute. Just spend farms around my TC. Remember that I made the horse collar, so all those farms are going to be born with more food. Let's take a look at the amount of food with the horse collar. If I remember right, is 250, different from the regular 175 that you can have for the farms. And I can restart, guys, now with something like 12 minutes, really quick, to make man at arms. And with this amount of farms, I can just make as much man at arms as I want. So I can do at least 5 more, and I can take down buildings. I just killed a mill here, real quick. I'm just showing an example of how quick I can take down a lumber camp with the Goth man at arms. Look at this. It's really fast. So it's easy for you to disrupt your enemy's economy before he can defend himself. And the idea here, guys, is that you want to get your man at arms, force him to go back to the town center, raid his gold, raid his wood. You can keep making men at arms forever now if you want, like this, huh? And now, from this point on, you can do whatever you want. What I usually like to do as the Goth after I do this initial engagement with the men at arms is just to wall myself, defend myself, and go straight for the castle age. So that's basically it. That's the minimum that I want to do. Just go for the castle age. Don't waste more time here. But if you ever need to, you can go for towers, you can go for skirmishers, you have a lot of options. A good call here, guys, is to make a second lumber camp. That's what I'm going to do here. So I will have a good amount of wood. And you can play the whatever way you like it. So that's basically it.